we'll go ahead and open up that Who's Looking at Your Digital Footprints response document. This is where you'll be writing your responses as I go over the lesson today. There is a space for the name and date. You do not have to type into that. You do want to make sure that you click that edit document, edit right in here using Word. It will save everything that you do. And if you're here in class, make sure that you have your masks up over your nose. We have the highest case count ever in Tennessee today. So we're going to be acting extra clean as we go into the next couple of weeks, just to make sure we all stay healthy. This is Mr. Dietz. He will be filming us today. He'll mostly be filming me. This is for when Dr. Sutherland came by last week and said that I had been nominated as a Teacher of the Week for News Channel 2. He's going to be doing some filming for that segment, and that's going to air next week, I think. So as soon as I find out what that air date is, I'll let you know. It's pretty exciting. Has anyone signed that they do not wish to be on camera? Is everybody okay with being on camera? You do not wish to, you do not wish to. Okay. Janae, do me a favor and swap places with Mackenzie. Evelyn and Mackenzie, you guys come in these back two seats over here. So your bodies might be on, but we'll make sure that your faces aren't shown, okay? That's it. That's what you got. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We are talking about digital literacy. So last week we took a brief quiz. This was as a study that is being done and about your digital footprint. And so now we're going to do the application, do the part of the learning of the lesson just to apply and to hopefully add to your knowledge about digital literacy. So the topic of this lesson is who's looking at your digital footprint? So our essential question that we're going to be asking today is how can information that you post online affect your future opportunities? So just as a show of hands, do you think that the stuff that you do online can somehow affect your future? Have you ever thought about that? Okay, good. I'm glad that you've thought about that because it definitely can. So our learning objectives for today is that we're going to talk about and learn how you have a public presence, and that's your digital footprint. And any information that you post online can help or hurt your future opportunities like college admission or employment. And then at the end, when we're going to culminate, we're going to write a little piece of writing called a vignette that shows how positive digital footprints can help somebody to take advantage of an opportunity. So a digital footprint is all the information online about a person either posted by that person or others intentionally or unintentionally. So it's important for us to know our digital footprint. First of all, your digital footprint is growing, right? As you type, every time you put stuff on the internet, how many people are on Twitter? Anybody in here? Okay, how many people are on Facebook? Just your parents, right? Facebook's kind of lame. How many people are on Instagram? Okay, how many people ever go to Reddit? No? Okay. What are some other social media platforms that you might be involved in? Snapchat, yes. How many people are on Snapchat? How many people have gotten a snap of somebody else's Snapchat? Like they sent you a screenshot of the screen where they've been saying some stuff. Yes, okay. So it's not just up to you. Other people like your friends, companies, groups you belong in, track, post, share information about you. That becomes information that's part of your footprint. And it's permanent because it's archived in a variety of ways and passed on by others. It doesn't ever go away. So we're going to watch this quick video, then we're going to respond to some questions.
And escape with available driver assist features. And because Ford SUVs are built for this, you made Ford America's best-selling brand.
With that college admissions bombshell, Harvard University rescinding acceptance for 10 incoming students after they reportedly posted offensive messages on social media. ABC's Adrian Bankert is outside the campus there in Cambridge, Massachusetts with the latest. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning to you, Amy. Yes, 10 of about 2,000 elite students who fulfilled their dreams of being admitted to Harvard are now being told their futures at the school are over before even starting. Harvard is renowned for accepting only the best and brightest. But this morning, the dark side of an online student chat room started by some incoming freshmen has caused administrators to revoke their admissions. The university's own paper, the Harvard Crimson, reports that a group of 10 students accepted to the class of 2021 and meeting on the college's official Facebook page created an alternative page full of memes containing provocative and derogatory images and captions. The content too offensive to show, with R-rated memes poking fun at topics like the Holocaust, sexual assault, and targeting ethnic groups, one allegedly calling the fictional hanging of a Mexican child pinata time. The Crimson reporting that incoming students who wanted to join the R-rated chat had to first post something offensive in another group dedicated to mostly lighthearted memes. Wyatt Hurt is one of the school's newly admitted freshmen.
I haven't heard really any dissent on people saying this was the wrong thing to do. It's definitely reassuring that as Harvard, as a society, we still stand by the moral values that we were built on.
Harvard admissions even posting on the class of 2021's Facebook group description that they have the right to withdraw an offer of admission if an admitted student engages in behavior that brings into question his or her honesty, maturity, or moral character. Now, we do have to tell you that many here, including students at Harvard, support the school's decision to revoke those admissions. But some proponents of free speech are criticizing the school for punishing those on the chat room who posted what they did on their own time. Amy?
All right, Adrian, thank you. And let's bring in ABC News senior legal correspondent Sunny Hostin. And Sunny, no question, Harvard has the right to rescind these admissions, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, we just heard that under their admissions policy, it clearly says that they reserve the right to withdraw that offer based on honesty, maturity, or moral character. And that brings into question the moral character of these kids.
Right, but what about the free speech argument?
That is the argument. Listen, they have every right to have posted this, to have said what they said. But Harvard also has the right to impose consequences on what they said. That is just the law. They can say whatever they want, but they have to suffer the consequences as well.
You're a mother, I'm a mother. You start to think, oh no, what do you say to your kids about what's appropriate and how much do you monitor this?
Look, I often tell my son, once you press send, it is out there. You have no control. People, you may think it's a private conversation. People can screenshot it, they can use it. And if you think about it, 350 admissions officers were surveyed. 35% of them say they use social media as a tool for they look at everything. Employers look at everything. I showed my son this last night and he said, oh my goodness, they're now not going to go to Harvard. I said, they are now not going to go to Harvard.
And getting in any school now with that on their history.
Exactly.
And as you mentioned employment, this isn't just about college applications. These are also people looking for jobs. You know, we've got some of our kids have been in social media their whole lives. They don't realize the impact this will have.
Employers certainly look at it. And if you are already employed, your employer can fire you for something like this. They can prevent you from being employed for something like this. We really need to get back to a time of civility, and we need to be careful about what we're posting and putting out there.
Yeah, social media literacy
Yes.
should be taught,
Yes,
right?
please.
Sunny, thank you.
Okay. So before I have you guys respond to the discussion questions in your document, I want us to talk about these things, these 4 issues that got brought up in the segment from Good Morning American. So first of all, Harvard says we can take away your admissions if you don't have things that demonstrate honesty, maturity, and moral character. So out of what you guys just heard, what was the issue? What was the issue with what they were doing in their groups? Inappropriate content. And what is inappropriate content, y'all? Let's just throw it out there. What's inappropriate? What kind of stuff do you think would be inappropriate for you to post on something that's like, say, like your Instagram, your public Instagram? What would be inappropriate? Nudity. Yes. Okay. Why is it inappropriate? What's going to happen if you post nude pictures of yourself out there? It's going to be spread. Yes. If you send a private picture, do you think no one else is going to see? You should never think anything you send on the internet is private, right? Or anything text message for that matter either. What were you going to say? Pinata time. Yes, that's super offensive, right? That reflects poor moral character, right? Posting jokes about the Holocaust, not okay, right? Posting any kind of racial slurs, not okay. We know that stuff's not okay. Why do people do it?
Maybe to offend others.
Maybe because they want to make other people mad, offend them. Yes. Why else? Trying to show, maybe act like they're like bad, right? Like, oh, look, I can post this stuff. Doesn't matter. I'm being funny, right? But is it funny? No, of course not. All right, now we have the issue of free speech. What does freedom of speech get us? Where are we allowed to have conversations about in public? Government. Yes, we can say, I don't like the government, right? I don't agree with this law. Okay, what else can we talk about free speech?
Can you talk about anything, but you just had consequences to what you say?
Thank you. You can talk about anything, but there are consequences for what you say. We have to always think there's an audience. There's an audience somewhere that's listening, and if they think it's inappropriate, there can be consequences for those actions, right? If you commit an act of hate speech, there's going to be consequences for your actions. If you call somebody names in public, there's going to be consequences for your actions, okay? So, discussion questions. You're going to answer these in your document. Why did Harvard revoke the student's admission? What was their reason for doing that? And then, do you agree with the decision? And tell me why or why not. I'm going to give you like 4 minutes, okay? 3 to 4 minutes. Yes, sir. Okay. Hold on. That's funny, yours isn't on there. Hold on a sec. Let me pause this recording for just a sec. And move on. All right, and then just as a vocab word, rescinded is taken away or canceled. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to review 2 of the resources, and on the resources, I'm going to let you click and open them and review the question, how can my digital footprint affect my future opportunities? But we're going to model one together before we do. So we're going to look at this first link together and complete the activity in our boxes. So I want for you guys to go ahead and follow along. I'm going to break down the article up here on the screen. So it starts out with, hey, all you college-bound kids, what's the easiest way you can do to impress prospective schools? It's not your GPA. It's not the debate team. It's your Instagram and your Twitter, your Snapchat, YouTube, and any other social media feeds that colleges can see. And yes, they're looking. Get answers to the most important questions about what colleges want to see. So the topic of this article, how you can use social media accounts to impress colleges. And the point that we take from this is that creating awareness that colleges are looking and seeing what you're doing online. So let's take a look at this first part. Should I delete my social media or should I make it all private? No. Actually, colleges do like to see that you're a well-rounded human being that has social media, okay? Because social media is today's social life, right? Like, especially if you have been distance learning, that probably was like the main way that you had to talk to people, right? So the main thing that can hurt you are posts that reflect poor judgment. So we just heard about Harvard kicking out 10 incoming freshmen. Okay. So that's one reason not to post that kind of stuff. The other reason is maybe your mom's going to see it and get mad. All right. So you want to get rid of any photos that contain inappropriate behavior. We talked about what inappropriate behavior was, but in addition, drinking, which I hope none of you are doing. Okay. But even if you are pretend drinking, don't put a picture of it on social media. No sexy stuff, lots of swearing, and no hostile speech, rudeness, or negative tweets about a school that you're applying to. You can get in trouble in part of our ethics about saying bad things about this school on social media, okay? Because that's part of our handbook within our ethics. So, questions. A college I'm interested in contacted me through Facebook. Does that mean they're cool and they don't care about my youthful indiscretions? Nope. College marketers are going to use social media to try to recruit you. Especially as you guys get older, you'll start to see ads for colleges on Snapchat, okay? You'll see them come up on Instagram. Be careful, because if you reply, then that means that you're allowing them access to view your accounts, right? So make sure that what you have out there is a really good reflection of who you are before you start the application process or before you start applying for jobs. Mackenzie, put your phone away, honey. So I once got in a public war of words with someone, not on my social media, but on another online forum. Is that going to hurt me? That might. Okay, so if you've ever been on a public discussion board, public forum, say things got heated, say you started arguing stuff, if you posted things under the same username that you use on your other public social media, there's a record of that, because when they Google you, that can come up. You can't go back in time and erase what you wrote. So make sure that the primary account that you're using to show off your amazing talents and skills to your future employer or to a college is clean, okay? And if you feel like making like you need to sound off in a public forum, make sure that your posts are constructive and cordial, right? No angry words, no swearing, no hate speech. Will the weird stuff that I like on other people's social media reflect negatively on me? Probably not, unless it's illegal, extremely antisocial, or disturbing, and it makes up the bulk of your feed. All right, so we know the stuff that's illegal, yes? And we know stuff that's extremely antisocial, right? But what would be some disturbing stuff? First of all, have you ever seen anything come up on somebody else's social media feed that you're like, well, that's real dark? Okay, so you guys know, you've seen stuff like that. Don't put that stuff out there, okay? And if you are putting that stuff out there, then maybe you need to see a therapist, okay? So you can talk to someone about those feelings. All right, could the school look poorly on me if I follow provocative figures on social media? And so this can be really prevalent for like if you're on Twitter, because you can look and see all the people that you're following on Twitter. So it's unlikely that they're going to use this against you unless the majority of people you follow are very extreme and highly controversial. That can show that you're not open to different points of view, which could be problematic in college. So if you're interested in a topic, seek out a range of opinions. Also, follow people who are influential in the area you're interested in. So let's take this, because the most immediate thing in your life is probably jobs, right? So you might want to follow the company that you're thinking about working for, follow the CEO, kind of get a taste into who those people are, retweet, you know, that kind of stuff if you're on Twitter. And then if you start to think, you know, you should really start thinking about colleges when you turn 16, thinking about where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What interests do you have? And so following them on social media and engaging with them can be really, really helpful and proactive for you. Thank you, Mr. Dietz. You're awesome. Okay. What should I do if I think a school or an employer unfairly disqualified me because of my social media? So because colleges receive so many qualified applications, they're typically looking at social media to see if it tips the scales in anyone's favor, not necessarily dig up dirt on you. So maybe another applicant's social media just made that person seem like a better match for the school. So a really good example of this is if you are like looking at a lot of schools and you really like this one Christian school, but you yourself are not a Christian. That's probably gonna become evident when they check out your social media, and that might not make it a good fit for you. And that doesn't mean that they're disqualifying you because that you're not a Christian. It's because that might not fit with the aesthetic of the school. Does that make sense? And then do my likes, followers, and other indications of social media popularity help me or hurt me in the college admissions process? If you've actively pursued something that you're passionate about, like music, photography, or seen the evolution of the shoe from ancient times to present, and you've cultivated an active, engaged audience on social media, that's a definite plus. College admissions will see that you have drive and initiative. On the other hand, having a big audience for more typical random teen interests, such as internet memes and cat videos, may not even register, and it won't be held against you, okay? Should I groom my social media specifically to look good for colleges? So if you are real serious about going to a esteemed, prestigious place, okay? Say you want to go to a Harvard, or you want to go to Vanderbilt, or you want to go someplace like that, then I would set up a social media that is just like the best version of you. And as lame as it is, I probably would do it on Facebook, because that is probably one of the first places that they're going to look. Maybe it's like, have it be like the best version of yourself that you're reflecting, all of the best interests that you have, that kind of stuff, because you never know when a scholarship might happen out of that. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes for you to read 2 of the other linked articles on your handout and complete the chart for those articles before we move on to the next concept. So the articles, so before we do that though, let's fill out those boxes together. So you have one box that's already filled out. So we looked at research number 1. So what are some ways that your digital footprint can affect your future opportunities? Shout them out to me. Posting bad things, right? Okay. What are some other ways? Following controversial people. Who's a controversial person? I mean, like, who would be somebody who you think that people might think is controversial and not okay? Jeffrey who? Okay, who's he? Okay, I'm going to use him as an example. He's racist and bad. Okay. So yeah, anybody who is like, okay, yeah, that person's like a blatant racist, not good, right? Anybody who has controversial ties to them, okay? What are some other ways that your digital footprint can affect your future opportunities? Anyone have another one they want to throw out to me? I mean, I guess like the biggest way is that you could get declined by some place that you really want to go to, right? Okay. Now, how do we feel? Do we agree with this stuff? Why? Yes. Now, and I don't know about you guys, but right now, I can't even get on my social media because there's a lot of feelings on social media right now. And it seems like everybody is diametrically opposed. Like you're either like on this one side or you're on that other side. and nobody is wanting to hear anybody else's opinions, right? And so people are getting real hot and people are getting really nasty. And so for me, it's just better for me just to pretend like that is not even happening. And I think that also when you are in a situation like we're in right now with the election, and we don't know what's going to happen yet, people's emotions are running high. Your emotions can run high, and it's really easy to like leave like a comment like you're a moron, right? And that is not going to help anybody out. So I think that this kind of gives you some good introspection about what is okay and what is not okay to do, like specific guidelines, because I feel like everybody needs to take this class right now to like learn how to act right. So you're going to do this for 2 more, right? You're going to pick from the options that are on the article, that are on my on that handout, and those links will take you here. Using social media, students aspire to become influencers, or read the case against personal brands, or top tips. Social media, if you watch top tips, or listen, you will need earphones, and I can happily give you some, or you can use your own. Personal branding is the practice of marketing yourself to the public using social media, a personal website, advertisements, or other non-digital tools. So I'm going to give you guys 15 minutes to watch, read, listen, and then respond. Okay. Does anyone need headphones? Okay. 1, 2. All right. Gotcha. 3. Okay. Bring them over in just a sec. Yes. Yes, you may. All right, so we're going to listen to a short vignette. So again, a vignette is a very short piece of writing. This is from the book True Connections. And so what I want for you guys to do is, as we listen, I just want you to kind of put your screen down like this so that you can hear it and you're not you're just listening, okay? So that you can focus on the task of listening. And what this is going to show us the impact that someone's digital footprint can have on their future opportunities. Okay, I'm going to read it to you. Pictures, videos, stories, and experiences are examples of things we share on our social media accounts with our friends and peers. We share these types of experiences because they make us cheerful or even brokenhearted. There are many reasons to share your life with your social media peers, but you must be careful with what you post because it can come back to hurt you in a negative way. When I'm online, I feel as though I'm much different than I am in real life. I am someone who is very cautious about what I post online. I will only post things that make me feel confident. I'm comfortable with what people may say in reply to my posts. When I'm with my friends or people I trust, who I know will not judge me, I'm a completely different person. I feel like I can be my quote unquote real self. My online persona is very different than who I am in quote unquote real life. When I'm online, I try to be as careful as possible. I know that if I were to post something bad, it can come back to hurt me in the long run. This happened to my cousin. She was 17 years old in the image, but decided to post a picture of herself drinking on her Instagram page. Years later, when she went to apply for jobs as a correction officer in a county jail, they did a very brief background check and saw the picture she had posted of her drinking 5 years earlier. Because she was applying for a job in a prison, they said she was breaking the law. The drinking age was 21 and she was only 17 at the time the picture was taken. They took her to court and the judge gave her a fine of $150 for breaking the law. She paid the fine and did not get the job in the county jail. A small thing that you might think is cute or funny at the time will come back to damage your reputation of having a successful career. Not only did she learn her lesson, but it also taught our family members to be cautious about what you post online because it never goes away. For this reason, I am very careful as to what I post online because I do not want to ruin my chances of an admirable job in the future. I might be a different person online than what I am in real life, but I want to protect my reputation that my employers and my coworkers will see. Being conservative rather than an outgoing person on social media can affect how job opportunities and colleges view your personality before they even meet you. If they see you posting pictures and videos of you doing illegal actions, then they are going to think twice about hiring you for that job or accepting you to that college. Technology and social media have taught me to be very careful of the things I put online because they may come back to hurt you. My cousin's unfortunate experience with social media has taught me a life lesson of never posting an image or a video of you doing an action you will regret later in life. So what I want for you guys to do is to brainstorm and write your own vignette where someone's digital footprint has had a positive impact on their future opportunities. So we don't want to tell a horror story. We've focused enough on that. We want to talk about how can posting something positive, how can that have a positive effect on your future opportunities? Your vignette can be fiction or nonfiction. So it could be a situation that you actually have of your own. Where someone's post or online activity helped them to take advantage of a future opportunity, like a college admission, job hiring, etc. Your vignette must include specific details, including what the person posted or did online that showed a positive footprint, what the opportunity was that was affected by their footprint, and how the opportunity was affected positively by the person's footprint. So you guys are going to have until the rest of class to finish this up and submit it on Teams, okay? Do we have any questions before we get started? All right, go for it.